Good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome to being here. I'm laughing at myself because we record this. We have an engineer, and as soon as the recording starts, it says recording in progress. It's probably the first time I have started prior to hearing
Recording in progress.
Right. So I think it's fun since today is
Slowing down.
Yeah, slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Have you noticed that whenever you're in a rush to get something done, you make mistakes that cause you more time spent fixing the mistake than if you had slowed down in the first place?
Yes. Like just now explaining, even though I doubt you all heard the glitch, and we certainly could have stopped the recording and started over, explaining it took longer than the microsecond to wait to hear recording in progress. And that's what happens with forward momentum.
Well, you know that old expression, the stitch in time saves nine.
Yes.
And I didn't get it. The other night I'm out on the stream and it's getting dark. And so I'm in a hurry to get my line back out of my fly rod. And so I did a quick movement to my wrist, which created a jumble of line on the end of my fly rod.
Oh, rat's nest up?
A little rat's nest up. And I had to then undo it in the semi-darkness. And it took me so much longer than if I had just slowed down, taken the rod, reached up to the front and pulled out some line and started again. You know, I was just in a hurry.
Well, I saw that today. We pre-record the Being Here podcast, and we recorded one earlier, got done an hour before this one. And I had a brand new recipe for soup I wanted to try. So I did that. And I also wanted to make us a smoothie. And it's a brand new recipe with lots of different moving parts. The smoothie. And I found the closer I got to the start time, the more important it was for me to slow down. Otherwise, I would knock things over or make mistakes and have to go back and redo. When I have the perception that I have a short period of time to accomplish something in, if I'm really here as I'm doing each action, that thought process does not grab hold and I start making mistakes. Then, of course, I forgot that while I was drinking my smoothie up here, and I kind of inhaled it, and we had to get me water. So it's not like if you are in a forward momentum, you're doing it wrong, and you've slowed down, you're doing it right. This is all about being here.
And all about being appropriate to the current moment you're in. You know, life shows up the way it does. How you react to it, how you engage in it is completely up to you. Unless you're upset, when that happens, you go mechanical on yourself.
Yes, and when that happens, you tend to replicate upsets and they grow.
Yes.
Let's take our first guest, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Colleen, welcome to being here. Where are you zooming in from?
Hi, I'm Colleen, and I'm zooming in from Manhattan.
Nice.
Well,
hi, thank you. I love this topic, and I feel like I'm embarrassed about what I want to talk about, only because I've been coming to some seminars, on Saturday and Monday, and I feel like I talk about it quite often.
Okay, so before you tell us the details of it, can I just say how much I love that?
Yeah?
Yeah, because I really feel...
Well, you see, in change, you want to be over a behavior pattern already. In transformation, it's really about noticing what is without this value judgment of what would be better.
In our early structures, whether it's religious in nature, so you're trying hard not to be a sinner, or it's in a school system where you're trying to do it right so you can advance to the next level, or even with video games, it's all about trying to move forward. If we make something we perceive as a mistake or something we perceive that we should know better by now, we want to hide it, or we're embarrassed about it because we think that's the big word, we think. There is past and future, forward and back, and we think we should be more, better, or different.
Than we are right now. And you can only be exactly as you are right now, and that's enough.
I know a lot of the listeners listen to us regularly. If you don't, you may be aware at this point that Shia and I finish each other's sentences. And
we also talk about listening.
And we want to let you know this is our style, listening.
And this is our style, finishing each other's sentences.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been together 40 years.
You know, I'm really good.
And we still like each other.
Yeah, that's true. What Shia says that completes my communication is exactly where I was going. If I stop and listen, it's all perfect. If he stops and listens when I start speaking, it's all perfect. When you say, oh no, you interrupted me, you have to be in an upset already. So what's your question?
So about a little over 5 weeks ago, I got COVID. And so how it goes, I'm still feeling like, I don't have my strength back yet. So when I don't really complain about it as much when I'm reading a good book. I'm lying down and reading a good book. I'm lying down and watching TV, or even working at my desk, because it doesn't take that much strength to move my mouse around. But when I get up and I'm moving, I'm like, oh man, when am I gonna get back? And I'm embarrassed that I'm still complaining about that. I have friends who've had long COVID and have much worse than I've had it. But so as far as going slow is smooth and smooth is fast, it's like I am slow, but I don't feel smooth.
Well, that's because you're not moving slowly.
Okay.
You're in a complaint that you can't move faster.
We
right.
had a session with the individual. She didn't have COVID, but she had a really deep bronchial infection. And we had an hour Zoom session with her. And when she started, she had to keep stopping, and she was coughing deeply, and her skin color was gray, and she was wheezing, and she was really uncomfortable. And as she got engaged and forgot about her story of where she should be, her color changed. She stopped coughing. The congestion went away. It wasn't that she was done being ill, but her focus on where she thinks she should be by now went away, and she engaged in her environment. So even when you talk about your friends who've had long COVID, who had it much worse, what is contained in that statement? So I'm feeling ill. My friends had it. They were ill. They had it much worse.
But
I should have nothing to complain about. I shouldn't feel sorry for myself.
Because you're comparing yourself to them.
Right.
Well, you do that in your health situation. You compare where you think you should be to where you were before you got sick.
Yes.
No comparison. So you don't take a step and feel tired, or take a step and feel robust. You take a step and jump into your thought processes about where you should be by now.
Yes.
You know, it's interesting. People had said it to me. Shai and I had COVID maybe 3.5 months ago. And I am finally, on some days, having what I would experience as pre-COVID normality. And if I go about my life in a very expansive but also energetic way on those days where I experience myself as back to normal, I'm putting that in quotes, I generally have a couple of days where the fatigue level is a little bit higher. So I'm noticing it as a phenomena rather than, oh, darn, I'm back to being, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you see, you have thoughts, and your thoughts are mechanical, and your thoughts are, I should be better.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Better than what? It doesn't matter. Any way you are, you should be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yes.
But Colleen, dear, this is it. I mean, really, this is the way you are right now in this moment. Can you be different? Well, in your thoughts, you could be, but in reality, you can only have the energy level you have in this current moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Here's a challenge. We have trace memories or concepts of who we were at some time in our 20s or our teens, or you watch a kid and they run around, they fall over on their face and they get up and keep running. Man, if I did that, it probably would be.
Yes.
So you may have memories or ideas of who you were once, but
Yeah.
it really is about being here inside of you in this moment.
Mm. That's nice.
And part of what I love your question about is it's so representative of Colleen, of so many of us who are trying to get over being us.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you are unique.
The other thing is this, my sweet, you are so committed to working on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So assume you will be forever.
Yeah, I was driving down the road the other day, and I had a playlist on, and one of your songs came on. I can't remember which one it was, but it was all about getting better and doing it rather than allowing yourself to be you. I mean, you may have used the words allowing yourself, but the essence was, we've got to get better. We're all sinners, and we got to overcome our
nature,
conception.
Yeah, that original sin.
Exactly. My God.
But you know, if you recognize, you will forever be enculturated into the idea that you have original sin and you are
A sinner.
By nature defective just because you were born.
That's right.
Then if you don't try to get rid of it, because what you resist overtakes you.
It becomes what your life is about.
And anything you see without judging completes itself in an instant. So if you're finding yourself...
Wait. How can that be possible?
Well, in this instant, if I see I'm berating myself for an idea and I see it and I don't judge it, it's like, oh.
But it's done.
Mm.
In that moment, it's over. In the moment you see it, you know. That's why it's so difficult for most of us to understand, because we've been raised in a paradigm of change, not transformation. And in change, you've got to improve. It takes time. We even got a hate mail once because we say that transformation is instantaneous and it happens when you don't work on yourself. Somebody sent us a very caustic email telling us that we were wrong and it was irresponsible of us to raise people's hopes that they could just get better without therapy or drugs.
Years of therapy.
Years. So, you know, it depends on what you argue for. But so it's a little difficult to get this concept that there's a possibility of instantaneous shift in your well-being and your reality just by allowing life to be as it is. Not to get better, not to fix it, not to change it, but to allow what is to be.
And it's paradoxical, Colleen, because
I go to the doctor if I have a cold, you know, or I have some injury. So there's the paradox. I let it be, but I take actions to support my well-being at the same time.
Paradox, we're talking about instantaneous transformation and not trying to get better. And at the same time, I find that if I look at you, you are better at navigating that mindset that there's something wrong with you. So both can be true at the same time. You have the idea that how you're being is a source of embarrassment, but I don't see that embarrassment as being so deeply rooted anymore.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, add a pinch of humor and it'll be like, I'm so embarrassed that I'm doing this. Can you believe it? It's a whole different complexion.
Yeah. Cool.
And I think it's quite wonderful that you are doing so well after 5 weeks. I know there were a lot of people who've had COVID and they had it and it was super light and they tested just because they thought they should, and they were shocked to find they were positive and they had no symptoms or virtually no, and I'm happy for them. I was not one of them. And I had to manage myself out of like, why me? What's wrong with me? What's with my immune system? And going off to the future, what does it mean about the future that I got a deep version?
Hey, your version was not as deep as some. You didn't get that deep that you're dead.
That's right.
That's right.
1 million people in the United States died of that disease.
Yeah.
You know, look, you do the best you can. And you be kind to yourself, and magic happens.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
So how embarrassed are you now?
I'm not.
You see something, it just disappears in an instant. It's like, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
The longer we hold something to ourselves as a deep and meaningful secret, the more potency it gets. And if it's like, oh, yeah, here I am.
Yeah.
Einstein said you can never solve a problem from within the system that created the problem, which is kind of interesting, you know.
And that you need to learn to see the world anew. And the only way to do that, or the main way I've found to do it, is to widen my perspective to include other people's, because people do not see you the way you see yourself from the repetitive nature of your mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear what one of you listeners has to say about being here in the transformation community.
Hi, this is Sandy from Fairfield, New Jersey. And I just had a wonderful experience on being on your podcast and talking and feeling special. I even mentioned that at the end. But this is one time I could truly say that transformation happened in this past half hour. You know, I know it happened before, but I feel it. I mean, it's like I feel it, but I don't feel it. It's something I can't describe. It's like a feeling. So it's like, how do you describe love? So this transformation happened, and in this clarity, this clearness in my mind is like I never felt before, but I'm not feeling anything. So it's very cool.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Aaron & Shire's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We invite you to a Living Made Easy seminar with us, or even more than one. Our next one is Saturday. It's on the 17th, and then the following Monday. In the new year,
we should say that those seminars are 2 hours long.
They're 2 hours long. They're virtual. They are a great way to immerse yourself in your own brilliance. And
or discover your brilliance when you're thinking you're not.
even, and that does not require you to say anything. They're virtual seminars, they're 2 hours long. There are people from all over the world who join. And it's a great opportunity to build the skill set of listening and being here without effort. And they're sweet. We are doing 2 at the beginning of the year, Monday, January 2nd, and then Tuesday evening European time for a translated into German version of Transformation in the New Year. We're leaping it off, sans or without resolutions, just stepping into being here. And our seminar
is Transformational Time and Project Management, and that's January 7th and 8th. And normally people make resolutions of how they're going to be different than they were in the past in the new year coming up. Well, our approach is not about making resolutions, but discovering how to access and live in the current moment of your time and do the things that you're doing like they're your idea. And then life gets easy.
So we are inviting you to any and all. They will be a celebration of you and the moment.
The other thing is Transformational Time and Project Management will fulfill the prerequisite if you should choose to join us late, but not too late, in Costa Rica 2023, which is about to happen. And you need to have had a in-person seminar with us,
and
virtual or otherwise.
We have 2 courses in Costa Rica this year. One starts on the 15th, one starts on the 21st of January.
And you can come for one or both.
Or 2 weeks. And they're quite exquisite. We're very happy we get to meet with people in person. If you want to know anything about any of our seminars or join our newsletter where you get podcasts and blogs and other great information, just go to transformationmadeeasy.com.
Made easy. That's the important part.
You know,
it's not about
probably it's transformation is easy, but it is transformation made easy.
Not transformation is not easy if you think about it.
Woo, that's a tough one because we're all so smart. All right, let's take our next guest.
Yes.
Stephanie, welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm zooming in from Hamburg, Germany.
Welcome.
It was so lovely to hear Transformation Made Easy again. I just forgot about the easy part. When I heard this saying, this slow is smooth and smooth is fast, when I hear that, I always feel there is a relief in that for me. But on the other hand, I feel I don't succeed in doing that.
You don't?
I'm hectic. I always think people tell me slow down.
She said succeed in doing that.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
I got it.
Hectic. Yes, that's German.
Well,
that's because you're trying to succeed. You're not noticing to see if you're smooth or slow. You have that as a destination. Slow is good, fast is bad.
Yes.
We're not saying that. We're saying that if you slow down, everything you do will be easy. But if you speed up, you make mistakes because you're trying to get things over with rather than being there in the action of the task.
And I often think, Stephanie, people think about it in reverse. You're looking at, you need to slow down, but there's an umbrella over that or overarching idea that you have to get something over with, or you have to get to destination, or you have to complete something.
Or you have to be better than you are right now.
Yeah.
And what if you can't be better than you are, but you could only be exactly as you are right now?
This sounds real.
You know, I'm looking at you and you're, I know the listeners can't see you, but you're exquisite. And one of the things I enjoy looking at is your luxurious white hair. Your hair is white and it's beautiful. And I remember many, many years ago when, due to whatever stress, whatever circumstances, you lost big clumps of hair. You had different areas on your head that were bald. And you got interested in A, what caused it, and B, how to treat it. And which you did. And then it grew back. But what was really fun about that, Stephanie, is that there was a period of time where you had, you know, your hair was like brown or brownish, and you had these little tufts where they were growing back from the bald spots. She's smiling, everybody. Yeah. She's not embarrassed that I'm talking about this. If you had tried to get those tufts to grow faster and you had pulled on them, you would have pulled them out and you would have been bald forever. You know, you can only be exactly as you are, and trying to get it to turn out just causes you damage.
I like that picture. This takes the seriousness out of the whole thing. And I think I got a little...
Stephanie, here, I have a question for
you.
Habe Frage.
Ich habe eine Frage.
Ich habe eine Frage.
Okay.
Can you be different in this moment than you are in this moment?
No, I can't.
Right. Now, if that is true, could you have ever been different than you were in any previous moment, in any previous moment?
No, I could not have been different in a previous moment.
Well, then maybe you should try something wild called relax.
Yeah.
You know, if you allow yourself to relax into your life, you might discover that your life supports you perfectly, exactly as it does, and exactly as you are.
This sounds great.
I have a question, because I have a feeling some of our listeners have this question. Shai just spoke to you about relaxing, and you said it sounds great, and I could see from your face you genuinely feel it sounds great. Do you ever get worried that if you relax, you won't get anything done?
Yeah, I would. I have it a little different, but what sometimes really comes up in me, like, slow is lazy. Don't be lazy. If you cannot just sit, or only for 5 minutes, otherwise you're lazy.
Well, I used to be lazy. I was a kid and went to school. The teachers would say he's L-A-Z-Y.
Which is code for he's dyslexic.
Well, they didn't know I was dyslexic because they didn't know what dyslexia was.
So L-A-Z-Y was a judgment slapped over top of the behavior.
But see, look, we've all been programmed and conditioned by the cultures we grew up in, and we have all their prejudices. Yeah. But so what? If you see it, it loses its power over your life. If you see it and resist it, you give it power. So if you notice that you have a thought that you're lazy, if you relax and allow yourself to be where you are, just the noticing of it is enough to have that judgment about yourself dissolve. So it's all good, you see, Stephanie. Everything shows up perfectly, except in our mind's rendition, because we think it should be different. See, look, I think you should have a little white stuffed polar bear on your chair.
It is one. It is with Sherry cherry seeds in it. You can warm it in a microwave. And it's sitting here because it's cute.
Yes, it is cute.
Yeah, it looks
For those of
really
you
pretty.
who don't
Like
have video, she has that on a chair behind her, and that's what I'm talking about. But you see, look, nothing can be different than it is in the current moment. The way it is indeed the way it is. Most people say, oh, you know, it is what it is, but they mean, I wish it were different. I'm saying it really is exactly as it is. And if you let yourself enjoy that moment, it completes itself and creates a possibility of new moments, not the same old coming back again and again. You know, I know someone who used to say, I'd say, how are you? And they'd say, same old, same old. Well, it isn't same old, same old. It's all new. The moment is always new. If you're here for it.
yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Because after 40 years of marriage, if it was same old, everything would get kind of stale. And it's not same old, same old. I'm still surprised at when we have physical intimacy, when we make love, that there are new things to discover. There's suddenly, I find my hands experiencing Shia newly, that it's not, oh, him. And when you're being here.
Well, you know, it's only, oh, him if you're comparing and wishing for something different. But if you're there for what you've got, your life is exquisite, no matter what you've got.
Great. Thank you. I like it. I'm really looking forward to meet my husband later.
Good.
You know, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When you say you have the perception, and I believe what you said, that slow is lazy, I would just like to offer you an experience I've had of you that says otherwise. You used to try to write emails very fast and get them over with. And your emails generally were peppered with typos. And so you sometimes even misspelled your own name. And I'm talking about it now, so it may happen again because I've drawn your attention to it, but it's been a long time since I've seen something like that. And I am assuming that you have stopped trying to get them over with. So there's your...
Well, and you haven't made a rule, I can't make any typos.
No typos. You make those rules, you make really screwy mistakes. So I haven't seen you make a declaration of how to be a better Stephanie, but I have noticed that you seem to get things done first pass through without all the mistakes you used to make. And I don't see that as a sign of lazy.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't have that in mind. I had no attention on that.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things about transformation. When transformation, things transform.
And you don't even notice that they transform because you stop doing things that, we step in a puddle all the time.
And here you are, we're talking to you, right? And that it's almost like a file folder on my desktop. If I click open the file folder, there are all these files in there. So I have remembrances of you from many years ago, like your hair, the era when you lost them. But all of those things are no longer being held by you as failings. They're opportunities for their resources, their assets, and that you didn't recall that you used to make typos all the time. You battled with that. Transformation happened. You forgot you ever had that as what you would have considered an issue or a problem. That's instantaneous transformation. You didn't incrementally get better. It's just over.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything, including Stephanie. I know that you take care of all sorts of things for our German friends and clients. And you're in the background supporting all the Europeans into their greatness. And we appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And we're looking forward to seeing you in Costa Rica. Really, really,
Oh,
really
yeah. We booked our flights and yeah, it's wonderful.
That's great.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to be a guest or submit a listener spotlight, which is the little information you heard in the middle of the show where people are talking about their experience of instantaneous transformation, you just go to transformationmadeeasy.com/being here and find out how. Next week's episode.
Celebrate.
That sounds good.
It'd be nice to celebrate your life.
Why not? It's the only one you have. You may as well celebrate it.
And nobody else is going to celebrate it for you.
We'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss
Being here.